Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the part 2 of Instrument Flying series. In this video, we will be discussing about instrument interpretation. The data which the instruments show to us, how to interpret that data, and then use it for specific purposes or the maneuvers that we want to actually perform with the aircraft. So if you are a person who is flying a six-pack or a conventional cockpit, then the data interpretation will remain the same. It is just that the placement of the flight instruments is a little different, and the scheme of things, the way they are shown, is a little different, but all the other things will remain the same way. A Garmin 1000 system has basically two screens, which is a PFD and an MFD, which is a primary flight display and a multifunctional display. So on your screens right now, you can see that what you can see right now is a primary flight display. This has all the important things which needs to be there, including your communication frequencies, navigation frequencies, your all the six-pack instruments, your horizontal situation indicator, your heading indicator, and there are different functions which we will not be discussing because this series is about instrument flying and not about G1000. And if you guys really want ki I should make a series where the hidden features or the different things that there are in the Garmin 1000 will be discussed, do let me know in the comments below. I'll surely make that one as well. So this is what we call as a primary flight display, which we have seen in the earlier video as well. And this is what we call as a multifunctional display, which has your engine data, basically your engine and instruments data is there, your map is there, and there are different functions with which you can use your multifunctional display. So now for instrument flying, you just primarily need to focus on the primary flight display, that is your PFD. So on your screens right now, you can see this is your attitude indicator, which is your artificial horizon as well. On your top, you can see that which it is has the rolling indications. This line, this small line, you can see this is your slip and skid indicator. You have your airspeed indicator to your left, your altimeter and your vertical speed indicator to your right. Your TAS is shown just below here. This is your horizontal situation indicator. So primarily these are the things which all you need, and one additional thing that you will be needing is your timer, which is located here. So these are primarily the things that we will be needing, and let's go towards understanding the interpretation of horizontal situation indicator through radials, through coarse deviation indicator and an RMI needle, and how these are different. First of all, we must need to understand one thing is what is a radial. Radials, we will not be going in depth for the purpose of instrument interpretation. Let's just imagine that radials are nothing but lines. Let's just say this is your station. If this is your station and this is the magnetic north, radials are just lines that are emitting out of the station, straight lines which have certain numbers allocated to it based on the magnetic heading that they actually represent. So north will be 360 or 000. This will be your 010 or 001, whatever you want to call it. So every 1 degree deviation may you will find that there are these lines which actually are emitting from the station in all the 360-degree directions. So whenever your aircraft is on a certain line, we call that the aircraft is on that specific radial, and the line is represented through the magnetic heading of the VOR station that there is. So let's just say if your aircraft was somewhere here, we'll call this that because the aircraft is on the line from the station which is at 09 or 0 degree magnetic heading, you will, or magnetic bearing, you will call it your aircraft is on 09 or 0 degree radial. So radials are nothing but just lines which are emitting out of the station, which are representing the magnetic heading for the VOR station. As now we know what radials are, a horizontal situation indicator and a RMI relative magnetic indicator, both are used for different purposes. So RMI needle is basically something which will always show you the heading that you need to fly to the station, or that it is a needle which will be always pointing towards the station. I'll show you it. Here you can see this blue cyan colored or blue line on your screens. This is something which is a needle which is pointing always towards the station. So let's just say if your aircraft starts to move with respect to left or right to the station, then this needle will start to move, but it will always be pointing where the station is. It will always looking towards the station. Okay. Now, what is a course deviation needle? The course deviation needle is basically letting me know, giving me a freedom to choose a specific course which I want to track, and then it is showing me whether I am left to that or right to that. The course deviation needle basically shows you a maximum of 10 degree deviation, whether you are 10 degrees left to your track or 10 degrees right to your track that you want to follow. So course lets you choose or a specific track that you want to, a specific radial which you want to track. While an RMI needle is something which you cannot change, which you cannot give your inputs to. It will always be pointing towards the station, and as it is pointing towards the station, it is always pointing towards the station. We know that if this is where the station is, this is the same line which is actually tracking out of the station as well, and this outline, this line which is coming out of the station, is what we call as our radial, right? So this, as this is always pointing towards the station, this needle ki tail will always be pointing and always be indicating your present radial with respect to that specific station. And these all data is actually coming when we are tuning the frequencies of navigation here. So the Garmin 1000 gives us the, if I've tuned to 115.90, it is showing me, the RMI needle is showing me, and the course deviation needle is showing me that if I want to follow a course of a northern course, that is a course of 360, then my course of 360 is to my left. So in basically in instrument flying, your power of imagination or your sense or your ability to actually sense where your position of your aircraft is with respect to the station will be very vital and will help you a lot in knowing that if you are at a specific radial, which is the next radial that you want, if you want to follow next radial, whether you need to turn left or you need to turn right. So situational awareness of your position is very, very, very important. And these lines, you must always imagine in your mind that if I tell you that you are at a radial of 080, or if you are at a radial of 360, you just have to close your eyes. Imagine that there is a point and this is my station. If all the lines are coming out, okay, 090 is somewhere here, I am somewhere here. Okay, 360, 260, I'm somewhere here. 270, I'm somewhere here. So this is the situational awareness that you need to have. How far I am from the station, on which radial I am from the station, and how I are. These are the three coordinates which actually define the position of an aircraft. Now we will be diving into depths, and when we'll be actually using the our HSI, CDI needle, RMI needle for radial interception, course reversal. We'll be using our timers. In those videos, you will be able to get the neck of how these instruments are basically working. And I am refraining myself from using QDM, QDR, different kind of terms here, because I want to make the videos as simple as possible, and I want the data to be I want you to get the fundamentals of the data. What are we actually getting from that instruments, as if you are able to, in my perception, that if I can actually imagine and if I can actually perceive correctly what an instrument is showing me, then half of my work is done. And if I know the position of my aircraft just by looking at the instruments, bam, there's half of my work is done. Now I just need to know that how to perform a specific maneuver. Basically, through this video, I wanted you to get a familiarization with what a horizontal situation indicator is, what an RMI needle is giving, what a course needle is giving me. Now, I just wanted to familiarize you. This video is not with an intention that you get mastery with just this single video. As we'll be moving along through our series and we'll be using these instruments, you will get to know, you'll get more clarity about how these instruments, what these instruments are showing, how to interpret it, and how to use to execute our different maneuvers. This would be all for this video, and in the next videos we'll be starting with our maneuvers. We'll be starting with the radial interception, and there we'll be first making a video about the theoretical part of the radial interception, and then we'll be diving into with the sims, and we'll be seeing that how to actually practice or how to actually execute a radial interception or different maneuvers that we'll be discussing later. So this would be all from my side for today. This is Animesh Sanyal signing off. Bye bye.